Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
We know that there is more snow in the forecast, and what this does is adds weight to trees and branches.
Here we go again, a messy mix of snow and rain as another winter storm hits the south coast. Plus,
and that's all been taken away, so it means a lot to me.
Sea-shelled sinkholes, dozens of residents forced out of their homes, and
I said, are you proposing?
a Valentine's Day love story from a Surrey Senior Centre.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Good evening. The South Coast is being hit by yet another winter storm tonight.
And it's making for a very messy Thursday commute home.
Hundreds, thousands of people lost their jobs, lost their homes, and it's been tough.
Our Aaron Collins is riding along with some colorful characters as that convoy continues to roll toward Ottawa in support of Alberta's energy sector and in frustration with the federal government. We'll bring that story your way straight ahead. And speaking of the feds, the Prime Minister is addressing the SNC-Lavalin allegations in a bit more detail today as that scandal won't go away. Julie Van Dusen will join us from the Capitol with the details. Plus,
across the nation, tens of thousands of young athletes are training for their chance to compete in the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
Those games are about to kick off in Red Deer. We'll take you there live. And are you sick of the cold and snow? We're going to meet some Calgarians who don't mind it at all. It's 6 o'clock.
This is CBC Calgary News.
Good evening, I'm Rob Brown in the CBC Calgary studio. Welcome our top story tonight. Justin Trudeau talking about the SNC-Lavalin scandal.
This is CBC Edmonton News.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Asquith. The calls are growing louder tonight to ban so-called seclusion rooms in schools.
Tonight, more questions surround Wascana Park development, this time the Connexus building. And a Whitewood man who sold medical pot illegally is fighting back. Plus, the Saskatchewan government says vendor-sponsored government trips didn't break rules.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
A bit of a reprieve for today. It's Friday, February 15th. CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Good evening, I'm Zarka Nawaz. The questions continue about developments in Wascana Park tonight. Not only the Brandt CNIB building, but also...
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Janet Stewart is off tonight. I'm Holly Bernier. More tonight on the resignation of Jody Wilson-Raybould. The federal minister stepped down from her post as Veterans Affairs Minister on Tuesday in a...
Speak with the deputy chief. Plus, $1.10 beer is here, but just for 3 days. We spoke with beer enthusiasts and put the new brew to a taste test. As CBC Windsor News, live at 6 o'clock, starts right now.
This is CBC Windsor News.
It's good to be with you this evening. I'm Arms Boomenlag. Windsor police continue to refuse to discuss a 911 call that originated from the police chief's home.
The process had been switched to 179.50.
The hunt is on for Stones tickets, but you won't believe what happened to one fan when he went to make a purchase. It's only rock and roll. That's why some Stones fans have no sympathy for the way Ticketmaster's pricing seats for the band's show north of the city this summer. Chris Glover joins us now. And Chris,
good evening. I'm Omar DeBaggy Pacheco. Your local news starts right now.
I'm running out of places to put snow.
Yeah, when we're coming, get out of the way.
cleaning up the storm. Residents dig out after the city gets pummeled by more than 30 centimeters of snow, shutting down schools and canceling some services.
There was a lot of hurt at the time. There were a lot of people that expressed their perception.
Plus, Ottawa police have released an internal report detailing the depth of mistrust felt by racialized communities towards the force and its officers. People in our region woke up to another wallop of winter today, and the cleanup continues.
Tonight, as the cleanup continues, parents in NDG are wondering why their kids' school is still snowed in.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's dangerous for the kids.
They say piles of snow are making drop-off and pickup time dangerous. Help is on the way for dozens of Quebecers trapped at a resort in Haiti. As violent protests continue, concern deepens for others, including a group of school children. And a folk music icon is in town for the first time in a decade. Buffy St. Marie talks about what keeps her going.
This is CBC Montreal News.
Good evening, I'm Deborah Arbeck. Thank you for joining us. Cleaning up a 40-centimeter snowfall is no easy task. The city says doing the whole job is going to take a week, but parents in NDG are wondering about the city's priorities.
Tonight, police find an elderly couple dead in their Rossay home. Her death is declared a homicide. How could Richard Olin's killer not be splattered by blood? An expert explains at his son's trial. And the sister of a psychiatric patient who was mistreated says she has lost all trust in the hospital staff.
This is CBC New Brunswick News.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. Kennebecasis Regional Police are investigating an apparent murder-suicide in the deaths of an elderly Rossay couple.
This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
I'm interested in finding out what happened, basically, and as a lot of people are.
Tonight, the latest Quadriga CX cryptocurrency mystery. Nearly 20 lawyers duke it out in a Halifax courtroom to represent clients that are owed millions.
He's a violent individual.
The most notorious thief in Nova Scotia history has died. Tonight, we have a look at the darker side of John Mark Tillman and...
I would never have known it went missing.
How one man's dogged fight for answers changed the policies at one of Canada's biggest charities.
Lots of sunshine to start on Friday, but the clouds will be increasing through the day. Our next system moves in with a round of rain and wind and mild temperatures for Friday night into Saturday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. The case of the embattled cryptocurrency exchange Quadriga CX was in court today as lawyers jockeyed for the right to represent up to $115,000.
Good evening, I'm Amy Smith. This is Atlantic Tonight.
At this time, we're not looking for any other suspects.
Police in New Brunswick find an elderly couple dead in their Rossay home. Her death is declared a homicide.
If you're offended, I am sorry.
Prince Edward Island's newly elected PC leader apologizes for a series of inappropriate tweets. And
we just absolutely love it here.
The Scotties sweep into Sydney.
Well, as we head into the weekend, we are looking at heavy rain and rainfall warnings southern New Brunswick as well as Nova Scotia. Some pretty heavy rain for PEI and into parts of Newfoundland as well. I will have all the details on how your weekend is shaping up just ahead on Atlantic Tonight.
Less than a week ago, Dennis King was celebrating after winning the PC leadership campaign in PEI. Tonight, he says he's sorry for some tweets that some may find offensive.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Tonight, details on a fire that ripped through a home in Wabush early this morning.
And now that home is gone. Nothing is left.
We were shocked that we would be missing 30,000 liters of our precious water.
How do thousands of liters of iceberg water go missing?
The company behind Iceberg Vodka fills us in and what they're trying to do next. 10 years since the paper mill in Grand Falls, Windsor closed.
A look back at the last decade as the town looks forward.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes. Our top story tonight, a fire that ripped through a row house in Wabush today.
It was intense, ferocious, but thanks to a quick response, the blaze was contained to one unit of the...
This is Tuesday, February 12th. Here's what's happening now on Prince Edward Island. The province says the winter weather is not slowing down progress on the Cornwall bypass. In fact, crews are busy working on an expensive part of the construction, a new $8 million bridge. A former youth worker at Bluefield High School is having his sex charges transferred to another province. Arthur McGuigan will plead guilty in an Alberta courtroom. And a shocking political move today that has a direct impact on PEI. Jody Wilson-Raybould is no longer the federal Minister of Veterans Affairs after resigning from cabinet today. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Compass. I'm Louise Martin. We begin tonight, though, with a potentially big winter storm on its way to PEI. We will see ice pellets mixing with snow.
Unnuk pivalleeyuni iqqartuak sautjaangit toruuq inummarik quqersilauqtuq nanunnik maqqugnik iglulingmi ammalu mamiavviuyut ursuqtumiut sukkaillariktumik qaritaujakkuugunnautingit akaungittuuqattalaut ninginnun ai inoqatikai maarlan alakkerallaufunga tungasugit igalaarmun ullumi pivalleeyuni taanna igluringmio inummarik pasiyaksalianguqtitaut jaangilaruuq atirtalingmik quqersilauqtillugu taakkuannanuumaqquuk qukilaortangit December tillugu gavamami nunavumi gavamakkut imaang qawisarnerilaortaminnik.
Tonight, the Nunavut government says an Inuk elder did nothing wrong when he killed 2 polar bears. And there was a somber send-off for 2 NWT pilots who died in last month's plane crash. And people in the Trondequitchin First Nation mourn the death of Melissa Atkinson. Good evening, I'm Hillary Bird. We begin in Nunavut, where an Igloolik elder will not be charged for killing a mother polar bear and a cub back in December. The government of Nunavut says the investigation has been dropped, but as the CBC's Jordan Kundney reports, the elder says